everyone, this is Stephanie Weaver coming to you from a quarantine kitchen here in San Diego. I'm the author of the Migraine Relief Plan, and I'm a home cook, recipe developer, and cookbook writer. And today I'm sharing what I'm going to be eating today for lunch. One of the things that I've been noticing in myself is not that we don't have enough food in the house, because we've done a good job of not being crazy stocking up, but having enough food here. But I'm so used to, as a person of privilege, to decide what I want to eat that day, and then if I need a couple ingredients, run out to the store and get that to satisfy that taste. And one of the things that I'm finding is that I'm feeling a little antsy that I can't just have exactly what I feel like eating that day. So maybe you're in the same boat, and maybe that helps you to know that you're not alone. What I'm going to do today is show you how I'm going to make a grain bowl, grains and beans and some greens, and a sauce to go on top of that. So this is kind of the leftovers in my fridge. They are cooked millet, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute. They are truck stop chickpeas from Instant Indian by my friend Rinku Bhattacharya, and then a curried coconut milk cooked greens. And then we're going to also put in some fresh spinach. But first I'm going to make the sauce. And so any of you who might be dairy-free or following paleo or been vegan at all might be very familiar with cashew cream. It's a kind of a sour cream substitute. I didn't have any cashews, so I had a half a cup of macadamia nuts, so that's what I'm using. You could also use pine nuts. They're pretty expensive, so that my go-to is the cashew pieces, the raw cashew pieces. They're the least expensive of those nut options, but this is what I have. So I'm combining that with a pickled jalapeno that is homemade out of my pickle jar, about a quarter teaspoon for me, because I'm pretty low sodium, of iodized sea salt. So because I went really low sodium, I have to make sure I have enough iodine in my diet, so I've got iodized sea salt, and then I've got a local lime that thankfully fell off my neighbor's tree this morning. So I'm gonna juice the lime, and you can also make this, of course, with lemon juice. And the recipe, I will post links to all the recipes that I'm using today below the video, and they're all on my website. And I'll also give you a link to the cookbook I mentioned, where the bean recipe, the chickpea recipe, came from. Okay, isn't this a pretty antique juicer? So that's that, and then about a quarter cup of water for a half a cup of pre-soaked nuts. So you don't need to have a Vitamix. You can use a regular blender. You just want to make sure that you soak your nuts so that they blend really easily. This will be loud for just a minute. That might need a little bit longer to be really smooth, but I just want to show you kind of the texture of it. It's a really nice texture. I want it a little smoother than that, but I know it's loud, so I'll finish that off later. But that'll be my sauce for the rice bowl. And then let me just show you how I'm going to layer the rice bowl. So, cooked millet is, so this is what millet looks like if you buy it in prepackaged or in a bulk food section. You might recognize it from birdseed, because it is a component of birdseed, but it is completely edible for humans. And being gluten-free for over 10 years, I've learned to explore alternative grains. And one of the things that's really important is to not just eat the exact same foods every day, because you don't want to build up too much of a load of something potentially negative from that type of food in that category, and you also want the variety of the nutrients. So while most people think of rice bowls as being made from brown rice, you can make them from quinoa, and you can also make them from millet. And this is what millet looks like when it's cooked. It's kind of a fluffy grain. It's very tasty. Amaranth and teff are also two other grains. And I watch my portions, so I'm not crazy about measuring, but I tend to watch them just because I don't want to gain the quarantine 15. So millet first, then garbanzo beans. So I know they're not the prettiest color, but This is a delicious recipe. It's kind of almost like a barbecue-y type sauce that's got some mango base in it. And this is what garbanzo beans or chickpeas look like raw. I will also post the how to cook dried beans tutorial in the link below. So basically about a cup of the beans go on top. And then these are the cooked greens. And of course I totally forgot to put my spinach on the bottom, but spinach can also go on the top. So essentially what I'm going to do is like a nice handful of fresh spinach, so you're getting the fresh leafy greens, and then just kind of jam it down, and then it's just going in the microwave. So really basic. Once it's microwaved, I'll stir it together. It won't be the most appetizing thing, but it's very delicious. And then I'll pour some of that sauce over. So the beans are part of very high in fiber, high in protein. They're part of the Mediterranean diet, and really all the longevity diets around the world have a focus of some sort of bean, whether it's a lentil, chickpea, soybean, other kind of bean. So I really do try to include those in our daily intake here, and I do try to trade out. So these greens were, let's see, they were probably kale from the garden, radish greens, and kohlrabi greens, because when the bunches of those came, they came with fresh greens. So I chopped those up, and then I cooked them down, maybe with some onion and a can of coconut milk. So super delicious, and I will include that recipe as well. So I look forward to seeing you again soon at Quarantine Kitchen. These are showing up on Facebook, and also I'll be posting them on YouTube, and there'll be watch parties as well. So if you miss it first time, it'll come up again. But follow me, Stephanie Weaver, MPH. That stands for Masters of Public Health. That's Daisy. She likes to participate in these. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye. Take care.